for watching. So I just had trouble with the last live stream. I'm gonna try again, see if this one stays up. But if you're watching after the live, we're gonna wait a little bit, let some people hop on before we start diving into the details. Anybody that can guess what's in here? This is my pre-workout. It's homemade pre-workout. If anyone can guess the ingredients before September 5th, they will get a free in-person ticket to the Dungeon Supermatch series. So we're gonna be talking about Turtle Man Classic. We're gonna be the second annual. We're gonna be talking about the Dungeon Super Series, the first ever Dungeon Super Series. We have 9 mega matches on the card. There's in-person tickets available. The tickets will be going for $30. There's also a pay-per-view. The pay-per-view will be going for $9.99 on this channel under the paid memberships. With the paid memberships, you'll be able to watch the matches as many times as you want. There'll also be other member videos that I plan to put up, like lifting videos and stuff like that. If there's anything in particular you guys want to see, let me know. The tournament and the charity, all the money we raise, the tournament and the super matches, all the money we raise are given to the Turtle Man charity. The only part that is not 100% given to the charity is the pay-per-view. YouTube is going to take a chunk. I think it's like 30%. I'm not exactly sure, but I think it's 30%. I'm going to take a portion and give it to the athletes on the card, as well as I'm going to give some to the referees, and then the rest of it will be given to the charity. All in-person tickets, all that $30 for the in-person tickets, that is given to the charity, 100%. The tournament, 100% to the charity. The silent auction, 100% to the charity. So anything that's not, the only thing that's not 100% going to charity is the pay-per-view, which the part that's not going to charity will be going, YouTube takes a cut, and then athletes and referees will get a part. Let's see. So the dates are going to be the super matches are September 5th. They're going to start at noon. Now, if you bought the in-person tickets, I would definitely advise getting there before 11. Probably 10:30 will probably be best. This way we get you parked, and stuff like that. Because even though the event starts at noon, once 11 comes around, we're going to be, doing stuff with the athletes. We'll be doing rules, stuff like that. So definitely, if you can, show up around 10:30, 11. Earlier the better. I'll be there. I'll definitely be there by 10. Possibly earlier. The matches at noon. We're gonna have all the matches. When the matches finish, when the last match is pulled, we're gonna do a dungeon tour. The dungeon is like an arm wrestling museum. There's stuff from the 80s all the way up until present day. Stuff from Jobbers Inc. Richard Lupke's, whole bunch of, you know, the old legends. After the tour, it's not going to be super long. It's just going to be, you know, it's something fun. Something fun that'll be. We also, after the tour, we're going to have the first opportunity to after pull with all the athletes. We got some extremely high level athletes. So if you guys want your chance to train with these guys, to pull with these guys, to you know, learn from them, your first opportunity, probably your best opportunity to pull all you know, 20 athletes on the card is definitely Friday. Some of the athletes are not able to stay Saturday, but definitely Friday you'll be able to pull everybody. The after pulls will probably go till you know, 6:30, possibly 6:30, 7 maybe. The tournament, Saturday, September 6th. Weigh-ins, registrations, sign-ups is from 8 to 11 a.m. If you guys want to compete in the tournament, you must be there before 11 a.m. Otherwise, you'll miss the bracket. We're going to have a rules meeting at like 11:05. After the rules meeting, we're going to keep the novice, amateur, and semi. We're going to keep them back for the safety rules. This is not locked in. We may, if possible, we may have an option. If someone does show up late, there will be a late fee, and that money is given to the charity. I'm not sure what it is, but if there are any, I don't think we'll be able to do it because of the bracket and stuff. But if there are any late entries, there would definitely be a late fee. So keep that in mind, guys. Definitely show up before 11. Early weigh-ins are if you're coming to if you got tickets, if you're coming to the in-person event in the Dungeon Super Series, we will be able to weigh you in after the super matches. Otherwise, it will be that night of when we're setting up at Steel Beach Gym. But early weigh-ins are by appointment only. So make sure if you want an early weigh-in, make sure you shoot me a message on Facebook, Nicholas Stone, or Instagram _Team Stone 777. Make sure you shoot me a message to set a time up. Tournament's gonna start at noon. We're gonna have 3 tables running. Out of those 3 tables, there will always be a pro class running. We're also gonna have 3 tables running always. There's going to be a kids table on the side of the stage, and also a sit down table on the opposite side of the stage. So we plan on running everything very smooth. Last year was pretty smooth, and this year we're a lot more experienced compared to last year. So I feel like things should be off to a good start. Once the tournament's done, we're gonna hand out trophies. But also, last year, we do overalls at the tournament, which is like first place finishes in the pros. They face each other to figure out who the best of the best is of that day. We're gonna have 2 champions, left and right overall, and the winners of the overall will get a spot, a guaranteed spot on the next pay-per-view event. Now, I can't remember if I said it. The only classes guaranteed to be entered is first place finishes in a pro class. The only other class that might be entered, but it's not guaranteed, it's going to be depending on turnout, is the Masters class. The reason why it's not guaranteed is, I've said it before, but in my other lives, but the Masters class is either full of world champions or it's full of first timers that just happen to meet the age requirement for Masters. So we're gonna go by the turnout. If it's full world champions, the Masters will definitely be in the overall. But if it's somebody that's new, I'm not gonna have them go against a pro, especially with something on the line. There's a lot on the line. A spot, you have a match on the next pay-per-view. After we have an overall, we have 2 overall champions. We're gonna do a after poll. So if you guys want to hang out, I definitely advise hang out, have some fun. We're planning to have a whole bunch of arm wrestling tables, the ones we're using, but also other tables, warm-up tables. You guys are welcome to bring your own arm wrestling table. Even if we aren't, depending on space, depending on the turnout, we might not be able to set up, a whole bunch, but we'll definitely have warm-up tables. But if there's room, we'll definitely let you set it up. Like if you want to warm up on your own table or something, that's cool. Let's see. I think I forgot to talk about the Dungeon Supermatch series. So they're going to be standing. It's going to be a standing event. Now that being said, if there's someone that can't stand, if there's like a medical reason or something like that, let me know. We'll find a way to we'll get them somewhere they can sit or something. Or if you have your own setup, you're more than welcome to bring it. Just let me know ahead of time, because we'll see. Yeah, we'll set something up. Saturday we're gonna have some chairs, but if you want, you're more than welcome to bring your own chair. There's gonna be a food truck there Saturday. Also, there's a whole bunch of restaurants within a mile or two of the gym. Yeah, so if you guys have any questions, let me know. Even if it's after the live, I should be able to see the comments in the YouTube studio. So let's talk about some of the athletes on the card. So let's start with the ladies. This is our only ladies match on the card. The two lady athletes. It's Kyla Ward and Candy Passmore. Kyla's from the north, Candy's from the south. Kyla is newer to the sport. She's about 3 years in. Candy's a little bit more of a veteran. She's had many more super matches. As far as Kyla, this is Kyla's first super match. It's a best of 5 right arm. They're meeting at 140 pounds. Now, I think this is this might be the classic battle of power versus technique, or a power versus technique kind of thing. Should be very interesting. I think it's going to be a great match. I'm excited for this match. It's gonna be interesting. So who do you think wins, Kyla or Candy? And what do you predict the score to be? Now the next match, not no particular order, just what comes to mind, is Ron the Assassin Armini versus Bill Sinks. Now, I'm very, very curious on this match as a fan. Um, I think it's going to be an absolute battle to the end. Um, Bill's probably, he's probably a little more known, but at least in my area, Assassin is extremely well known. Both these guys have very big hands for their weight class. They both, they're about 200 pounds, but they got hands of people that are about 350, maybe 400. Similar styles, similar but different. They're both top rollers, but different style of top roll. I'm very interested in this match. I think it's going to be a great, great match. What do you guys think? Who wins? Do you think Bill Sinks? You think the Assassin, Ron Armini? What do you guys think? What do you think the final score of this match is going to be? Let me know in the comments. Yeah, I think it's gonna be an absolute, fireworks show kind of thing. I think it's gonna be just mega. Ron is actually one of my teammates. We pulled yesterday, and he is feeling very strong. It's been probably about 2 months since I pulled Bill at one of the New York tournament after pulls, and he was feeling very strong too. I'm very excited. I'm very excited for this match. Next match that comes to mind, in no particular order, is Sam Mitchell versus Brian Malek. Now, I think I said in my other videos that they're meeting at 165. I think I'm mistaken, and they're meeting at 176 or 178, if I'm not mistaken. Me being a super heavyweight, I easily mix up the lower weight classes. Any class with numbers, I tend to look for the classes with letters. When you get heavy enough, they got to move from numbers to letters. But I'm curious on this match. They're both. Brian may be. It's hard to say, depending on how you look at it. He might be a high hooker, he might be a top roller. Sam definitely is a shoulder hooker, supinated hooker, heavy bicep, very sticky. I know both these guys are training hard. It's going to be interesting, It's going to be very interesting. I think center table is going to matter. I think elbow integrity is going to matter with this match. I think whoever has a more steel-like elbow might have a smoother day. But it's interesting, Both guys are training hard. I know they want to win. Who do you think? Who do you guys think? Sam or Brian? Who do you think wins in that best of 5 right hand? Now, the next match that comes to mind, no particular order. Oh, actually, I keep on forgetting. I got a screenshot and make a little video of this one, but I think out of all the matches, this might be the one with the most smack talk, and that is Black Ice versus the High Chief, Ron Columba. Ron Columba has used Black Ice's government name, and that's a big no-no in Black Ice's book. You can't call him by his government name. It's because his name is Black Ice. That's what I was told to tell the people. And Chief is out there calling him by his government name, and that set off Ice. Ice sent me a message. He said, I'm getting all my stuff together. I'm getting ready to redecorate the dungeon. He's gonna redecorate the dungeon after he says he wins. Now that's some serious talk. You know, that's like someone coming into your house and taking over and bringing their sofa, throwing your sofa out, bringing their sofa in. So things are heating up. Chief, I would say, has the speed advantage, but I would say Ice has the endurance advantage. So this is going to be very interesting. I think after the go, where the match stops, will matter big time. Whoever has the better position. I think hand is going to matter big time. Both these guys are top rollers, very good top rollers. The hand is going to play a huge factor in this match. I know Chief has been training hard. He does not want to lose on home field. Because the dungeon is Chief's home. That's where he lives. That's where he sleeps, and that's even where he pets his cats. He's got a couple cats. Now, Black Ice, he wants his revenge. These guys have known each other for 15 plus years. Ice started training with Chief years ago. One of his first, guys that coached him. They faced many times in tournaments, but never a super match. And Chief has always come up on top. So I know Black Ice wants his revenge, but I know Chief wants to keep his title of the High Chief. So what do you guys think? Who wins this match? Do you think the High Chief, Ron Columba, or you think Black Ice wins this? Let me know in the comments. And let me know what the score, what do you think the score is going to be? I'm curious what the people think. Next match that comes to mind is now this athlete is pulling two separate athletes. Oh, I also forgot to say Black Ice and Chief are pulling both left and right arms, so they have two matches. But the next athlete with two matches will be Paul Passmore. His first opponent on the left arm will be Justin Baird. Now, Paul has been training very hard. I know I've seen some videos of him recently. He's looking extremely jacked. Very strong. He's got some great wins recently. And he will be pulling Justin Baird. Justin Baird he's a left arm specialist. He spent some time in boxing, but he's taking a trip back to arm wrestling. It should be very interesting. These guys have been wanting to pull for a long time. I think 3 or 4 years they've been talking about it. Never got a chance to pull, but it just so happens that we're able to make that happen. September 5th at noon in Connecticut in the dungeon. So I'm not the address for the dungeon is not public. If you are one of the few people on the planet Earth that know where the dungeon is, you are more than welcome to show up the day of and buy your tickets. If not, you're going to have to shoot me a message. Facebook, Nicholas Stone. Instagram, _TeamStone777. Shoot me a message. You're going to have to buy your tickets. Once the tickets are bought, then I will send you the address. Yeah, so back to the Paul Justin match. I think it's going to be very, very interesting. Both these guys have very, very good locks, especially when it comes down close to the pin line. They're very sticky. So I think this is going to be a barn burner. It's going to be a great match. Who do you guys think wins? Lefty, Passmore or Baird? Paul or Justin? Who do you think wins, and how do you think they win? The next match that Paul will be pulling will be a right arm match, and he will be pulling James Clark. Now, if you don't know who James Clark is, if you're in my area, you definitely know who James Clark is. But James Clark is one of the top guys in our areas. He's probably the top guy. He's either tied for first with Paul. He's definitely number one lefty in Long Island, but he might be tied for first with Paul in Long Island. But he might be ahead of Paul. It's I'll have to see. But he's extremely strong. He's got a great top roll. He's got strong hands. He's going to have a height advantage on Paul. I think he's like 6'2" or something, maybe even 6'3", maybe. It's going to be interesting. Tall top roller versus a stockier hooker. Should be very interesting, Who do you guys think? Who do you think wins, James or Paul? And how do you think they win? You think top roll's going to pull through, or do you think the hook is going to hook him down? Let me know what you guys think. I'm curious. If I'm not mistaken, I think there's 2 matches left. Next match will be James Road Mason versus Tim Lewis. Now, Tim Lewis is stepping in for Brendan Peasley. I appreciate him stepping up. It was a little challenging to get a match for James that is a good challenge, a respectful opponent, meaning that is going to give him a match, because I know James has been training extremely hard. Tim has been extremely active. He has a super match probably every 3 or 4 days. He has a super match. He might be one of the in terms of matches, like number of matches, he's got to be up there for number of matches. I bet he's close to 50. That's a good amount of matches. That's more than 10 times more matches than me. So he's got some experience. He's been around. Very sticky. James is very fast. He's got a good hit. So I like to say, this is the battle of the bullet versus the bulletproof vest. So if it stops, the vest is going to have a better day. If it doesn't, the bullet's going to have a better day. So what I mean by that, James is going to want to keep this match. He's probably going to want to try to finish it fast. He's going to want to try to keep it dynamic, keep the match moving, whereas Tim just wants it to stop. He wants the match to become static. He wants it to be stationary, because once that happens, he'll just get tighter and tighter and tighter, and it'll be very interesting. I don't see one athlete having more of the advantage than the other. I think their advantages it's going to be how they're played. So it's going to be very interesting. Very interesting. So who do you think wins? Do you think James or do you think Tim? These guys are also meeting at 220 pounds. Last match on the card, it will be a 1 versus 3 match. It's going to be a handicap match. So what that is going to look like is it's going to be me versus the team of three. The team of three is Damien, John, and Andrew. Now, Damien and John are from Massachusetts. Damien is number 2 behind Jerry Caderet, and John is number 3, maybe tied for number 3 with Chris Burns. Damon probably has the same amount of experience as me. John is he probably has the least amount of experience. I think he's got 3 years maybe. I think Damien's got 5. I think Andrew, he's from Pennsylvania. I'm not super familiar with Pennsylvania, but I know he's definitely in the top 10 in the supers. I think Andrew probably has 4 years, if I'm not mistaken. So we're all pretty close in terms of experience. I think I got probably 5, a little over 5 years experience. Should be very interesting. The way it's going to kind of look is match 1, I'll pull athlete A, match 2, athlete B, match 3, athlete C, and then repeat. The way I win is I need to get 6 pins on the team of 3. The way they win is they need to get 3 pins on me. They also have the athletes. The team of 3 has freedom if they want to change the order. If they want to, go, if they have a strategy, if they, instead of going A, B, C, if they want to go A, B, C, B, C, they could do that. Now, this is not locked in. One thing I was thinking about, I think it may make it more challenging. I think it may make it more fun for the fans, more entertaining, is to allow the team of 3, each athlete will get 1 tag in. Now, this is not locked in. This is something that it might be put in. So each athlete will get 1 tag in. So what that means is not in the middle of a match. So it can't be during a match. But say, for instance, if a match stops. So, for instance, if there's a long match and then a slip, an athlete can tag in during that, but they can't tag in during an actual match, only during stoppages. Only 1 per athlete. I think it might be interesting. It'll definitely be fun. I am very thankful to Damien, John, and Andrew. Because if it wasn't for these guys, I would not be able to be a part of the first ever Dungeon Supermatch series as an athlete. So I'm very thankful for these guys stepping up, for these guys taking the time, and they're also making the trip on their own dime. Everyone on the card, except for there's one private sponsor. Other than that, every other athlete is paying their own way, their own time, their own dime. So I'm very thankful. Because this is a charity event, we have a budget of 0. I did try to, let me tell you how this 1 versus 3 match was born. So my original plan was I was trying to get a regular traditional match, a 1 versus 1. The tricky thing is at this level of arm wrestling, there is certain criteria, mostly that I definitely do think they're fair. So most people, at the minimum, even if they don't get paid like money, they would like travel and stay. So hotel and a plane ticket. Now that is definitely fair. That's definitely fair, especially at this level. But we weren't able to meet those standards. So that's kind of how I went through a whole bunch of athletes. Mostly just, people did want to pull, but it's just mostly a budget thing. But that's how this 1 versus 3 match was born. It wasn't my original plan. We started thinking, I think I am wrong. Maybe I'm wrong, but I think it might have been, I think Damien, because I go up to Massachusetts. I've been there in a while, but I go up to Massachusetts and pull with Fitzy and Jerry Caderet. Damien's there, John's there. So I go up there and pull with them. And I think Damien brought the idea to me first. I think, I can't remember exactly, but I think it was Damien that gave me the idea or offered, say, if you can't find anybody, I'll pull you. And then from there, I think, the idea is, like, what about a 1 versus 2? And they were definitely for that. So it was, 1 versus 2. And then we were thinking it might be better with a third guy. So the first, I did ask Chris Burns. He was for it, but unfortunately, he has school. He's a teacher, so he can't, can't ditch those kids behind. So he's unable to make it because of school. But that being said, Mr. Macho Man Andrew. Now you'll see why I call him Mr. Macho Man. When you see the match, you'll definitely understand why I call him Macho. He's stepping up. I definitely appreciate that. He's taking the trip up with his family. He's bringing a camper. So I'm very thankful for these guys that are stepping up and, going to put on a good show. Going to put on a great show. But that being said, I'm coming off a tough loss. And I am not losing twice. I'm not losing on home field. That's where I practice at Saturdays. So I'm not losing. I'm not losing. It's going to be a great time. It's going to be fun, but I'm not losing. So that being said, make sure you get the pay-per-view. Make sure you get your in-person tickets because it's going to be a crazy event. It's going to be a crazy event. The only matches that aren't going to be played in exact order. So if you watch the in-person event, my match will be first. In case we're gonna, for two things, we have some modified rules. If there is any problems that I didn't foresee, we'll be able to, those problems will happen during my match. We'll be able to adjust them for the other athletes. But also, too, I would like to be able to kind of focus on one thing at a time. So what I mean by that is, like, I would like to, we're going to set that up. We're going to tell the rules. And then once the rules are done, I'm going to go into arm wrestling mode. I'm going to do the match. After the match, I'm going to go back into like promoter mode. I'll probably be on the microphone and just running the event, making sure everything's smooth. So I think that's how it's going to happen. But if you're watching the pay-per-view, it will be played last. So the pay-per-view, it's the first match will be on Sunday night. It's going to be an edited version. It's not going to be live. We don't have the capabilities to pull off a live. Well, anything of decent quality. So we're going to do an edited version. The first match will be the ladies match. That's in the first match will be Sunday night, will be the ladies match. And then, Monday will be the next match. Tuesday will be the next match. So it's going to be 9 days of arm wrestling. So it's going to be a good time. It's going to be a good time. If you guys have any questions for me, let me know. I'd be happy to try to answer them. Now, let's talk about the rules for the event. The rules for the super matches will be the same for the tournament, except for there will be added safety rules, safety stoppages for novice, semi, and amateur. So keep that in mind, guys. The semi-pro class will also have safety stoppages. The only athletes that have the right to snap their stuff up, break their bones, are going to be the pros. Like, if that makes sense. Especially, I feel like where we are, we're going to be in a gym, so the potential for there being a lot of new guys, especially very strong new guys, is very high. We'll probably have a ton of strong new guys. I know there's some decently strong guys in that gym. Let's see. So let's start with the regular rules. So this is new. I don't think anybody has done this in a competitive tournament or super matches. Once there's a grip that looks like it's set, the referee will ask both athletes, athlete, are you good with this grip? Athlete, are you good with this grip? If both athletes say yes, and now there needs to be a verbal yes or no. It can't be a head shake. It has to be verbal yes or no. If both athletes says yes, the next command, even no matter where they are, they can be extremely turned. They can start in a hook. They can have their shoulder in. If both athletes say yes, the next command will be don't move, go. So keep that in mind. If you say yes, the next command will be don't move, go. It will be a live match. Keep that in mind. Now, if one athlete says yes and the other athlete says no, then the referee will step in. The first thing they will do is they're going to square your shoulders up. Once the shoulders are squared, if the referee has to go from hands to shoulder, that will be a foul. I don't want the referees to have to go from hand to shoulder, hand to shoulder. They're going to square you up, then they're going to go to the hand. So don't get caught carving in the shoulder. If the referee has to go back to the shoulder, it's going to be a foul. So keep that in mind. There's no warnings either. There's 0 warnings. There's no warnings. There's going to be 3 fouls with running fouls. So there's 3 fouls with running fouls. If one, like what I said before, if one guy says yes, one guy says no to the referee when they ask, are you good? The referee will step in, start with the shoulders, square them up. Then they will go to the hands, make sure the knuckles aren't covered, stuff like that. If for some reason athletes aren't able to get their own grip in 15 seconds, it's going to go to a referee's set grip. If for some reason they aren't able to get a grip with a referee's set grip, they will go to a traditional referee's grip. where the referee has full control. They may even move your elbow around to get center. So keep that in mind, guys. They close the fingers, they close the hands. But in the set grip, it's going to be, ref's going to say thumbs, fingers, don't move, go. Now, if there's a slip, all slips will go to strap. The only slips that will not go to strap is, say, if there's like a professional foul or a unsportsman. So now the professional foul and the unsportsman foul, they have to be. It has to be obvious. Like, we're gonna have 3 referees, at least for the super matches. We'll have 3 referees on the match. It has to be obvious where all 3 referees know right away that an unsportsman or a professional foul occurred. So the 2 biggest things is, with running fouls, the only way you can really get a stop is if you foul and gain a huge position. So what I mean by that, so say this is elbow pad. If somebody, live match, picks their elbow up and then proceeds to follow through to hit them, that will be considered unsportsman, professional foul to try to stop the match. Where if that happens, like what I said before, it has to be obvious. It will be 2 fouls, not 1. It will be 2 fouls. The reason why that rule or something like that, I'm trying to eliminate any reward for somebody that fouls. So I would like the reward, if there is any potential benefit, would be to the athlete that did not foul, that was arm wrestling. The athlete that did foul will potentially have a higher cost. Another thing too is, as a fan, personally, I cannot. I mean, it's in the rules, so it's not cheating. But as a fan, I cannot stand professional fouls. Where someone is in trouble and they pop their elbow up to get out of jail free card kind of thing. That doesn't really make sense to me, because I feel like, how can you get reward for fouling, if that makes sense. The other one that is probably easy to tell right away is, say if this is the pad, if you this is your elbow, if you drag them all the way down to here, something like these have to be extreme, where the referees know right away, that will be an unsportsman, something huge, like, anything that's not, if the referees do not know right away, it will just be a running foul. Let's see. That might be it, maybe. The only thing I can think of right now that would be, like, say if someone hit, like, say if they're setting up and there's a huge hit and the referee, like, it wasn't even close to saying go. You know what I mean? Maybe something like that. But that's going to be up to the referees. I'm going to talk to the referees, make sure that, they know it has to be no question about it. No, like, there's no discussion, no debate that something, unsportsman, unprofessional happened. That might be tricky, but to do, but I think it will be okay. Let's see, what else do we have for rules? For the strap, the athlete cannot, so like say if you're arm wrestling right, the athlete cannot, say the strap is being applied, they cannot touch the strap. If they touch, even to hold it, they cannot touch it with their offhand. It will be a foul. The only people allowed to adjust the strap or tighten the strap will be the referees. So keep that in mind. Keep that in mind. If you guys touch the strap, even if it's just as simple as just holding it, that will be a foul. So keep that in mind. There's no touching of the strap with your off arm wrestling hands. Now, actually, this is something that someone talked about recently. Tim was talking about, someone down south. This is, say they're arm wrestling with this hand, they have the strap on. What they do is they take their lower fingers, and this is the opponent, say the strap is here, they take the strap, and while they're getting a strap, they pull the opponent's strap up. Now, that is also not going to be allowed. If that happens, that will be a foul, because the only people allowed to adjust the strap are the referees. So if you guys need the strap adjusted, communicate with the referees. They will do the best they can. Now, these straps, it may not be perfect. It may not be like at practice, where at practice you can do whatever you want. You get the strap perfect, so keep that in mind. The straps will be put on, not super tight. They'll be put on snug, but it will be determined to who has the buckle, if they want it cranked or just snug. It will be determined who has the buckle. I think there's a couple more rules I may be missing. Talked about the fouls, running fouls. There's no warnings. If you guys have any questions for me, let me know. After this live, Alex is coming over. We're going to do a recovery lift, so maybe we'll get some videos. Practice this Saturday at the dungeon, 10 a.m. If you guys are on the team watching, make sure you show up on time, because it's 10 a.m. People have been showing up at 1 p.m., 2 p.m., even at 3 p.m., and at that point, it's pretty much Sunday. But keep that in mind. Practice 10 a.m. Vultures will be hunted to extinction. Should be good. Should be fun. Should be fun. I don't think I'm missing any more of the rules, besides the safety rules. Now, novice and amateur definitely will have the safety rules applied. Most likely, the semi-pro, we're probably going to apply it to the semi-pro class. So keep that in mind, guys. So the two biggest ones will be risk of a spiral fracture. So if somebody is committing their shoulder excessively in the novice, amateur, and semi-pro division, the referee will first, try to square them up. They may even grab your shoulders and square you up. If that's, say if you aren't able to move, or something happens, next thing will happen is the referee will stop the match. Even if there's not a foul, even though if there wasn't an elbow foul for the stoppage, you will get a foul, and the referee will tell you, why they stopped it, why it wasn't, why it was potentially unsafe, and give you a little quick safety rundown again. The other one is going to be a straight arm position. Anything that, puts a risk at the bicep of popping. We don't want to pop any biceps. That will be the other one. So no open arm positions for the amateur, novice, and possibly even semi-pro. So keep that in mind. If you got, we're gonna do a safety rules meeting after the regular rules, but there's a lot going on. So if you guys happen to forget, with stuff going on, feel free to ask the referee. They'll give you a quick safety rundown, or anybody in the Team Stone shirt will be able to give you a rundown. Also, if you got questions, you can ask me, or anybody in the Team Stone shirt will be able to help you. For the super matches, we will have video review, but it's not like an unlimited. Well, you can use it unlimited times, but it's not like so. What you have to do is, if you want a video review, first off, it's going to be our camera. We're going to use the same camera for everybody, the same angle for everybody. So we will not be using any other camera besides our camera. So keep that in mind. Also, too, if you want a review, you have to be confident enough to put down $50. If the review is overturned, if you are right and there was an error with the ref's call, the call will be reversed and you will get your $50 back. But if the call stands and you are wrong, the $50 is given to the charity. That's mostly for the time. If someone, the time to stop the tournament. I actually got that from IFA. They do that rule. I think it's a good rule. I think it's kind of like the best of both. You get the review, but it kind of limits everybody from reviewing every single play. Because if people start reviewing every single call, you're gonna be there all day, just reviewing. So you got to be at least confident enough to put $50. If not, the refs were probably right. That's for the super matches, and the only classes guaranteed for video review in the super match in the tournament will be the pros. The pros are the only class guaranteed video review. We may not do video review with the semi-amateur novice. The only reason why definitely the pro is because we have the pay-per-view spots online. We have the pay-per-view spots online, so you got to win first, and you got to win the overall. So we got 2 spots, one lefty, one righty. It's going to be interesting. It's going to be very interesting. Let's see, what time is it? I'm going to stay on for like another minute, so if you guys have any more questions, let me know. So I guess I don't think I talked about this yet. Real quick, the Turtle Man, what the Turtle Man, all that money goes to is we had a teammate. We call him Turtle Man. That's why Turtle Man Classic exists. But unfortunately, he passed away a little under 2 years ago. His name is Danny DeMichael. He passed away due to a drunk driver hit him. So what we did last year, we got together, we put on the first event. We raised money. We raised over $6,500 from the event. That money we gave it to Danny's wife. Danny's wife took that money and she puts it in a college fund. So there's more than 6,500 in there right now. So we're off to a good start. Our goal this year is definitely to raise more. So hopefully, I think she's like 5 or 6 right now. So hopefully by the time she's college age, she at least won't have to worry about the money side of it. So that'll be nice, So like I said before, 100% of the money that we make, except for the pay-per-view, YouTube takes a cut, and then we're going to give some to the athletes and some to the referees. Everything else is just directly given to Danny's wife, and she directly puts it into a saving account for a school. So it's a good cause. It's a good cause. If you guys would like to donate, we definitely would appreciate donations. It's too late now for if you want to get on the shirt. The shirts are already ordered. They should be here very soon. So if you guys want to pre-order them, make sure you get yours. We only have 100. We actually have less than 100. We probably have some sizes are running low. I can't remember which ones, but if you want to guarantee you get a shirt, we're doing pre-orders. Shirts go for $30. You have to shoot me a message on Facebook or Instagram, Nicholas Stone, Facebook, Instagram _Team Stone 777. But yeah, I think that's it, guys. Been on there for an hour. I think that's all I'm going to do today. But thanks for watching, and I'll see you around.